join my Patreon at patreon.com/bunnytails for the full uncut reactions. Thank you for watching. Hi everyone. Today we're going to be watching another episode of Star Trek, the original series. Again, if you missed it last time, I'm getting over a flu, so if I sound a little bit off, that's why. But anyways, where is this little bunny gonna go today? We are going to watch an episode called The Galileo 7. Oh yes, we're going to go where no bunny has gone before. Let's get it.
En route to Marcus 3 with a cargo of medical supplies.
Ooh. What was that?
Priceless opportunity for scientific investigation. On board is Galactic High Commissioner Ferris, overseeing the delivery of the medicines to Marcus 3.
We have a guest aboard.
I remind you, Captain, I'm entirely opposed to this delay.
And I have standing orders to investigate all quasars and quasar-like phenomena. It's 3 days to Marcus. And the rendezvous doesn't take place for 5.
Well, there you go. We got 2 days.
The plague is out of control on New Paris. We must get those drugs there on time.
Captain to Galileo. All systems cleared for takeoff.
What was that we were just looking at?
Launch shuttlecraft.
Oh, shuttlecraft. Well, that's some remastered effects if I ever saw any.
Position? 3.7.
Are they inside the shuttlecraft?
Quasars are extremely disruptive. Just how much, we don't know.
Why do they have such important officers on this little shuttle?
Galileo to Enterprise. Come in, please.
This doesn't seem safe.
We are out of control, being pulled directly into the heart of Murasaki 312.
Scotty's here too? All our senior officers are here.
Try and get me a fix on the Galileo.
Scanners are blank, Captain.
Oh. Welcome back, Sulu. Glad you could make it.
What is it, Captain?
And out there, somewhere, 24-foot shuttlecraft. Off course. Out of control.
So now they have this shuttle that they have to try to find. With all our best buddies on there. But also emergency medical supplies for a plague that we need to also deliver. So basically we have 2 days to find them.
The electromagnetic phenomena known as Murasaki 312. The effect has rendered our normal searching systems useless. Without them, we are blind and almost helpless.
Well, what the heck are we gonna do?
I was opposed to this from the very beginning.
I have certain scientific duties I must perform, and investigating the Murasaki effect is one of them.
Yes, but you've lost your crew.
Yes, you don't need to
We have 2
remind
days
me,
to find
sir.
them.
2 days. In all that?
There's one planet in this solar system capable of sustaining human life. It's just about dead center of the Murasaki effect.
What a pickle. Oh, well, they didn't land very gently, did they?
You all right?
Yeah.
Scotty?
Don't talk to me right now.
Galileo to Enterprise. Come in, please.
You don't really expect to get an answer, do you?
We gotta try.
Mr. Scott, it is merely logical to try all the alternatives. Mr. Latimer, Mr. Gaetano, you'll arm yourselves. Scout out the area, keeping in visual contact with the ship.
Aye, aye, sir.
Hopefully there's no dangerous creatures.
What do you think our chances are of contacting the Enterprise? Extremely poor. But they'll be looking for us. They'll be searching for us without instrumentation, by visual contact only. Then you don't think they'll find us? Not as long as we're grounded.
Prepare Columbus for immediate exit, or search of the planet's surface.
Well, Captain, you don't really think you'll have any luck, do you?
Look, these people are my friends and my shipmates. I intend to continue the ship's search for them until the last possible moment.
Well, I can't say much for the circumstances, but at least it's your big chance. My big chance? For what, Doctor? Command?
I don't think Spock cares about that.
But you've always thought that logic was the best basis on which to build command, am I right? I am a logical man, Doctor. Well, it'll take more than logic to get us out of this. But I neither enjoy the idea of command, nor am I frightened of it. It simply exists.
Mm-hmm. You're barking up the wrong tree there, Bones. Is it one of his, like, fun little game pastimes that he has to just try to get under Spock's skin? It's like, there's gotta be a way. One of these days I'll get him.
If we ever hope to make orbit, We'll have to lighten our load by at least 500 pounds.
The weight of 3 grown men.
You could put it that way.
You mean 3 of us must stay behind? And who's to choose?
The choice will be mine.
All right, Mr. Spock. Who?
My choice will be a logical one.
Life and death are seldom logical.
Now, gentlemen, I suggest we move outside to make a further examination of the hull in the event we've overlooked any minor damage.
If any minor damage was overlooked, it was when they put his head together.
Not his head, Mr. Bowman. His heart.
That's what's lacking.
What is it?
It's from up there.
No, it's from back there.
Well, they must be surrounded by something.
Let's get out of here.
Well, if these two, I mean, sad to say, their choice would be a little bit easier if these two just go off and die. Then they just have to get rid of one person. Oh, there are inhabitants. Why was that spear so big? Are they giant people?
What was it?
Huge. Terrible. Up there, I think I hit it.
Nothing there.
I tell you, there was.
I don't doubt your word.
Well, there must be something. I swear I hit it.
Well, it's gone now. What do you want Spock to do?
Folsom Point. Remarkable resemblance to the Folsom Point discovered 1925 Old World calendar.
There's a man lying there dead. And you talk about stone spears.
My concern for the dead will not bring him back to life, Mr. Bowman.
They don't take too kindly to command someone who has no human emotions, or at least someone who suppresses them, in favor of pure logic.
Captain,
Yes, Commissioner.
What now?
I don't relish the thought of abandoning your crewmen out there. However, I must remind you...
I haven't forgotten, Commissioner.
24 more hours, Captain.
His best friends.
It's too delicate. It may not be able to
Are
take the
those
pressure off of this.
Legos? Giant Legos.
This should save us at least 50 pounds, Mr. Spock. It would still leave us at least 150 pounds overweight.
Can't believe you're serious about leaving someone behind you.
It is more rational to sacrifice 1 life than 6, Doctor.
I'm not talking about rationality.
You might be wise to start.
Mr. Spock, we're ready.
For what?
The service is for Latimer.
Mr. Bowman, we're working against time.
Yeah, we're playing with Legos over here.
Doctor, perhaps you know the correct words for such an occasion.
Mr. Spock, that's your place. Now look, we may all die here. At least let us die like men, not machines.
As the acting person in command, is he the one who's supposed to do the funeral rites? Is that what they're saying?
We have no fuel.
Well, it would seem to solve the problem of who to leave behind. Consider the alternatives, Mr. Scott.
We have no fuel. What alternatives?
Mr. Scott, there are always alternatives.
Mr. Spock, something's happening outside.
Those giant things back?
They'll have a sense of unity, and we can use that by hitting them hard. Give them a bloody nose, make them think twice about attacking us.
I'm frequently appalled by the low regard you Earthmen have for life.
The tables have turned, huh?
Gentlemen, you'll follow my orders. You'll fire to frighten Mr. Gaetano, not to kill.
I mean, if they killed one of them, then that would be like... I mean, I know they struck first, but there would be no chance of any peace. It would be war. That thing is pretty scary looking, though. That thing got big.
Direct your phasers to 2 o'clock and to 10 o'clock.
I say we hit them dead on.
Yes, I know, but fortunately I'm giving the orders. Should think twice before bothering us again.
I still say we should have killed them.
It was not necessary. Mr. Boma, you return with me to the Galileo. Mr. Gaetano, you remain on guard here, keeping contact with the ship.
You're gonna just leave this guy? Why? For what purpose?
I can adjust the main reactor to function with a substitute fuel supply. Our phasers. I can adapt them and use their energy.
Trouble is, they happen to be our only defense.
It would also seem to be our only hope.
If I can get a full load, we should be able to achieve orbit with all hands. Not that we can maintain it long.
In less than 24 hours, the Enterprise will be forced to abandon its search in order to make a rendezvous. If we can't maintain orbit after that time, it won't make any difference. If we burn up in a decaying orbit or die here on the planet's surface, we shall surely die.
Man, this is intense, actually. Very intense. This poor guy. Oh. Now, if there's one thing that's gonna bug me about this episode is that they just left this guy here by himself. With this giant Ewoks. Well, who could have saw that coming?
Nobody knows what's happened to Gaetano. And you hand over his phaser like nothing's happened at all.
Just where are you going? I have a certain scientific curiosity about what's become of Mr. Gaetano. He'll risk his neck locating Gaetano. Then if he finds him, he's just as liable to order him to stay behind. You tell me.
Even if the most logical person is put in charge and makes 100% of the right decisions, if the people under him can't get on board with what he's doing because they don't feel like the humanity that a leader of humans would need, then things aren't gonna work out. Is he dead or alive? Oh, better hurry. Oh shit, that was close. Sorry, it looks incredibly silly. Just these spears just being lobbed, just willy-nilly, it seems.
Didn't stay frightened very long, did they?
Most illogical reaction.
Did it ever occur to you they might react emotionally? With anger? They were perfectly predictable to anyone with feeling. Your precious logic brought them down on us.
Oh boy.
Most illogical.
And I'm sick and tired of your logic.
Step by step, I have made the correct and logical decisions. And yet 2 men have died. You seem to have miscalculated regarding them and inculcated resentment on your parts. How much longer, Mr. Scott?
Another hour, maybe 2.
Won't be long enough.
What do we do?
Captain's log, stardate 28.
Kirk, we need help. Spock needs help.
We can only wait helplessly.
Oh, here's this guy.
You have 2 hours and 43 minutes, Captain.
I'm perfectly aware of how much time I have left.
I am delighted, however, I shall continue to remind you.
You do that.
What do you intend to do?
I intend to continue the search, foot by foot, inch by candlelight if necessary, until the last possible moment.
How frustrating to feel so
Scott,
helpless.
how much power do we have left in the ship's batteries?
Well, they're in good shape.
Will they electrify the exterior of this ship?
That they will, Mr. Spock.
That they will, Mr. Spock.
Please check the aft compartment. See if there's anything else you can unload to lighten the ship.
Mr. Gaetano's body is back there.
It will, of course, have to be left behind.
Not without a burial.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I would insist upon a decent burial, even if your body was back there.
All right, Mr. Bowman, you'll have your burial.
I am very much enjoying this episode.
Captain Kirk,
No, get out.
your time is up.
But they're still out there.
I'm sorry, Captain. I now assume authority, and I order you to abandon search. Recall your search parties and proceed to Marcus 3 immediately.
Prepare to abandon search. Set course for Marcus 3.
Come on, Spock and everybody.
How long before the Columbus comes on board?
23 minutes, sir.
23 minutes.
Tell them to take their time.
If we shed every ounce, we might be able to achieve orbit. A few hours, no longer. But if we time it right, we can cut out of orbit and save enough fuel for a controlled re-entry.
Gentlemen, ship will lift off in exactly 10 minutes. You have that long to bury Mr. Gaetano. I'll assist you. Hurry.
The Columbus is aboard, sir. Last of the landing parties have beamed safely up.
Oh.
On course for Marcus 3 at space normal speed.
Space normal, sir?
Those are my orders.
Here's the ship, immediate liftoff.
illogical. Leave me.
I told you to lift off. Don't be a fool, Mr. Spock. We couldn't leave you out there.
Get us off, Scott. We should be moving, but we're not.
Seem to be holding us down.
Shock him again.
What are you doing?
Our boosters.
We'll never be able to hold orbit.
Would you rather stay here? An hour from now, we may be right back where we started from.
Jeez. Look at that wobbly little rinky-dink thing. Oh, this is crazy.
The logical thing for you to have done was to have left me behind.
Spock, remind me to tell you that I'm sick and tired of your logic.
Tapping our boosters ended our last chance for a soft landing.
I don't want to die up here.
Mr. Spock, you said a while ago that there were always alternatives.
Did I? I may have been mistaken.
Well, at least I've lived long enough to hear that.
I, for one, do not believe in angels.
With our present fuel, that gives us about 45 minutes.
Galileo to Enterprise. Come in, please.
Mr. Spock!
You. Whoa.
He jettisoned the fuel and ignited it.
We need that fuel to maintain orbit. How long have we got now, Scotty?
Say 6 minutes.
Captain, something there on the screen.
Get him! Get our boys and girl.
180 degrees about, Mr. Sulu. Lieutenant Uhura, contact transporter room. All beams ready. Full normal speed.
Whew. There's always an alternative, right?
A distress signal? It's like sending up a flare. There's Spock. That was a good gamble. Perhaps it was worth it.
No one out there to see it.
Orbit decaying, Mr. Spock.
Uh-oh.
10 seconds to atmosphere.
Maybe the last action you'll ever take, Mr. Spock. It's all of you.
Totally illogical.
Exactly what I mean.
I think it's funny how Bones is just, you know, we're all dying, but at least I got to see Spock admit he was wrong or do something completely illogical.
Transporter's locked in, sir.
Activate beams.
Yes!
Whatever it was, Captain.
Whew.
It just burned up in the atmosphere.
By
Captain,
seconds.
transporter room just beamed up 5 persons, alive and well.
There were 7 to start, though. I bet he's curious who it
Mr.
is.
Sulu, proceed on course to Marcus 3. Ahead warp factor 1.
Aye, sir. Warp factor 1. When you jettisoned the fuel and you ignited it, you knew that there was virtually no chance of it. Well, that would seem to me to be an act of desperation. Desperation is a highly emotional state of mind. How does your well-known logic explain that?
It doesn't.
Logical decision, logically arrived at.
I see. You mean you reasoned that it was time for an emotional outburst?
Those are essentially the facts.
You're not going to admit that for the first time in your life, you committed a purely human, emotional act?
No, sir.
Leave him alone.
You're a stubborn man.
Yes, sir.
I loved that episode. Got me a little bit emotional too. At the end when they were just like all laughing, it seemed kind of like I could see how somebody could look at it and be like, this isn't fitting. It's too overacted or overdone. But I feel like in a situation where you have this immense sense of relief, all of your emotions can definitely come out like that. So that just seemed actually very fitting to me. That was really cool how everything played out so perfectly that at the very last literally the last second, they were able to get saved. Kirk holding out for as long as he possibly can, even when he was out of time, to not warp away, to just go at normal speed, just on the off chance. Just he didn't want to let go no matter what. He wanted to give every second that he could, that somehow, some miracle, and that miracle happened to be Spock making an illogical, emotional, last-minute decision. I loved how we really got to dig into Spock, Scotty, Bones. They all really got to shine in this episode. Especially Spock, though. Especially Spock. He definitely learned, or it was at least definitely reinforced, that pure logic isn't always going to be the correct answer, and is not always going to be enough to make the proper decisions or to get the outcome that you want. Like Spock said, he did everything logically, and 2 of his men died, and the remaining were very unhappy with him. And that was one of the most intense episodes that I can recall. I was absolutely on the edge of my seat the whole time. Yeah, I think that's definitely one of my new favorite episodes for sure. That was really fun. Well, thank you guys so much for watching that episode with me. I am looking forward to whatever is coming next, and I hope you guys will be there for that one as well. Please leave a comment, let me know what you guys thought, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.